Dr. Mindy here, and I want to talk about the ketogenic diet for women. So as most of you have been following me over the last week or so, know that I did a big event on women and hormones. And at that event, I launched a 30-day reset called the Ketobiotic Reset for Women. And the purpose of today's Facebook Live is to explain to you the ins and outs of this. Last week, I talked a lot about why I think women should be doing the ketogenic diet differently. Today, I want to talk about how you do the ketogenic diet differently. So, for starters, the other thing you'll know is that I call it the ketobiotic diet because one of the biggest downfalls of the ketogenic diet is that people start to give up on fruits and vegetables. And especially, obviously fruits, but especially vegetables. And I really feel like you need vegetables and fermented foods to really feed your good bacteria. So I call it ketobiotic as a reminder to you to keep eating your vegetables, just like your mom said, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, how do you do the ketobiotic reset for women? Ready? So I'm going to give you 4 things you're going to do immediately, like right now, okay? First thing, you're going to go to drmindypells.com, and at the top of my website, you're going to click on Free Start Guide, and when you click on that, you're going to get this beautiful guide that I and a graphic artist worked on creating. It's everything you need to know about doing your 30 days. I have got meditations in there to help calm your nervous system. We've got shopping guides. I've got a chart on how you pick which day, what day you do what. So start off by going there first. Okay, second thing, then there's 2 apps on your phone that are crucial. The first one is called Clue. It's going to help you figure out where you are in your cycle. So now I know a lot of you are thinking either you're postmenopausal or you don't have a cycle anymore. What do you do? If you're one of those people, I highly recommend you start this reset on day 1. So if you really have been going without a period for a long period of time and you're under 50, reach out. You actually need more help than just a typical reset, okay? So you're going to download Clue. Second app you're going to download is called Carb Manager. It's how you determine how many carbs and protein you get, okay? Second step. Third thing, you're going to decide when you're going to start this reset. So some of you I know are going to download everything. You're going to get all the information, then you're going to sit on it for weeks and weeks and weeks and try to figure out when you're going to start. Let me tell you something I've noticed about very successful people. People who succeed in life, it doesn't matter what they succeed in, follow one rule, and that's called speed of implementation. So when you want something, so if you want to reset your hormones, my recommendation is that you download the guide today, you get the Clue and the Carb Manager, and then you pick that date. And what you're doing is you're moving yourself into action and you're not sitting back and just waiting. That's how people get healthy, is when they actually put themselves into action. So pick your start date, and then also make sure that you're part of my Resetter tribe, so that you can ask questions. I have support there for you to be able to ask questions. Okay, now that that's out of the way, how the heck do you do this reset? So here's what's going to happen. When you get on the Clue app, you're going to figure out what day you ovulate, what day your period is or your cycle is at, okay? So for example, right now I'm on day 20. Now I'm on day 21, okay? So I would then pull out my chart and I would go to day 21, right there. And on day 21, it says I'm supposed to do a mineral day. So then I would go back to my charts and I would look up mineral day. And I would say, okay, here is a mineral day. On a mineral day, I'm supposed to keep my carbohydrates under 100 grams, my protein under 100, and I'm supposed to make sure that 60% of the food that I eat comes from good fat. And I'm supposed to try to eat as many of these foods as possible. So I am focusing on that day on adding mineral-rich foods in, such as grass-fed lamb, grass-fed meat, cashews, pumpkin, things like that, okay? That's what I want you focused on. Then tomorrow, when I get up, tomorrow will be, let me tell you, tomorrow is going to be an amino acid day. So on that day, what I will do is go to my chart and I will look up amino acid day. And on amino acid day, here it comes, there it is. Tells me at the top what I'm supposed to do. I am supposed to stay to 100 grams of carbohydrates, 100 grams of protein, sound familiar? And I'm supposed to be getting more lentils into my diet. I'm supposed to get more pumpkin seeds. I'm supposed to do some seaweed and some chickpeas. So I'm going to try to work on adding these foods in. So each day you're told what style of eating you're supposed to eat. Does that make sense? Now, if you were at my event or you listened to me last week, the way that this reset is set up is the first 2 weeks, you can do your keto just fine. 1 through 14, you can do really well. But once day 14 happens, you're now making progesterone. And progesterone is your anti-anxiety hormone. And you need specific foods, vitamin C foods, B6 foods, vitamin E, amino acids, L-arginine, minerals. You need zinc, magnesium. You need foods that are rich in this, with these nutrients so that you can make enough progesterone. Because progesterone is going to calm your brain and it's going to bring estrogen down. Okay? So on day 14, the reset changes. We have you eat more of those foods. Make sense? Now, let's talk about fasting for a second. The first couple of weeks, you can get away with fasting. 1 through 14, I give you some days that I recommend you, like I say, hey, today, do a 24-hour fast. For those of you that are my fasting experts and have been doing a ton of fasting, like on, what day do I give that to you? On day 4, you can do a keto and a 24-hour fast. For those of you that know what a dinner-to-dinner fast is, you can do it on day 4 of your cycle. But when we get down to day 25 and you're doing a mineral day where you're doing, where you're really building progesterone, I don't want you fasting that long. You should be fasting anywhere from 12 to 16 hours. Your body can't fast when it's trying to make hormones. It needs those carbs. It needs you to eat, okay? So that's the protocol. I think in this guide, I've done the best job that I know how to do. I've created steps for you, so you just follow the steps. And one of my recommendations is that you go to the Resetter page, and if you have any question, I'm there every day. Just let me know that you downloaded it, and I will make sure that and tell me I'm on day such and such. What do I do about such and such? And I'm there to answer that question for you every single day. Okay? Pretty excited about this. If you were at our event, I talked about supplements. I recommend that you use the supplements during this reset. They're geared towards balancing your hormones. They're geared at repairing your gut. I will be doing more Facebook Lives talking about the microbiome and how it regulates estrogen. So stay tuned for that. We are going to be talking more about how do you train your parasympathetic response. I'm a huge fan of using things like meditation, chiropractic, CBD oil, things like that really help train that parasympathetic response. But I think you're going to see this frickin' rocks, and I'm very excited to share it with you. Please engage in it. Let me know how you do, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Have an awesome day.